All right, we're learning more about what President-elect Donald Trump's second term in office might look like and who will be part of his team. Campaign manager Susie Wiles became the first appointee announced last night. She will serve as Trump's White House chief of staff, becoming the first woman to hold the role. And for more on this, I want to bring in CBS News campaign reporter Olivia Rinaldi. So, Olivia, Wiles is a pretty known entity in Washington. What can you tell us about her and how influential her new role is?
Yeah, good morning, Tom. Good to be with you. It was breaking news here out of Palm Beach last night when Susie Wiles was tapped to be who was once Trump's campaign manager, I should say, is now going to be his chief of staff. And Wiles is known as being a quiet, methodical presence on the campaign. I should also know she's the only campaign manager that has ever lasted an entire cycle with Donald Trump. His campaign managers in 16 and 20 got fired about halfway through. Susie lasted the entire time, and she's beloved by people on the campaign. Yesterday, when I was speaking with aides and advisors, there's not a single person who didn't have amazing things to say about Susie. However, she will be going to Washington, which is different than running a campaign. And it's actually her first job in Washington. She's a known entity among Florida politics, but it's her first time going to Washington, D.C., really having to make a mark there, learn the ins and outs of government. So we'll be watching closely over the coming days after this selection who Donald Trump could pick to fill out the rest of his cabinet.
There's a whole cabinet, speaking of which, that has to be filled out. So have you heard anything about potential cabinet picks for the other positions?
Well, one name that's been striking me as someone who could potentially be picked as Secretary of State would be Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. Now, the interesting thing about him is he is someone who is very close with Trump's now chief of staff, Susie Wiles. When we were having conversations about who could potentially be picked for that vice presidential pick for Donald Trump, Senator Rubio's name was coming up time and time again as a result of Wiles pushing for that, among others, within the campaign. So we're hearing his name as a potential Secretary of State position. But I also do want to note I spoke to sources in Governor Youngkin's camp last night. He's the governor of Virginia, someone who has certainly courted friendship with Donald Trump over recent months about whether or not he would serve in a Trump administration, what that would look like, any positions that interest him. And I was told that he spoke with President Trump yesterday, President-elect Trump, and politely declined and said that he would be serving out his term as Virginia's governor through 2025. So tick that off the list of governors that I'll be reaching out to see who's going to be serving in that cabinet. But there's certainly a lot of work to do over the next 73 days until Donald Trump's second presidency.
Yeah, we know those positions certainly instrumental in executing the president's vision. Olivia, we appreciate your time. Thank you.